Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Colleen and I am really happy that you're here. If you see things that you enjoy on today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the little bell so that you can see content as it comes up week after week. Today I am going to work on the simplest, I believe it may be the simplest meal that I've ever shared with you. It's a 3-ingredient chicken dish, and I'm going to serve it with some rice and some broccoli, and I will gather up the ingredients so that we can get the chicken in the oven, and then we can move on to the rest. So I'll be right back after this. Today we are making a cranberry chicken, and I'm using chicken thighs today. They are bone-in, skin-on, and we enjoy chicken that's cooked with the skin on. So I use chicken thighs because they don't dry out as much as breasts tend to do when they're baking in the oven, and we just prefer the darker meat. You will see me use chicken breasts from time to time, just not today. So I've gathered up what I needed. We need one package. I have 8 thighs in this package. And you're always interested, it seems, to know what the prices of things cost here in our little town in Canada. And this package of 8 thighs was $14.26. We need a package of onion soup mix. We need a can of cranberry sauce. And we need 1 cup of French salad dressing. And that's all there really is to this. I'm going to open this up. And I'm just going to, maybe I better consider a little spray in the bottom. Easy cleanup. Easy cleanup I'm not opposed to for sure. Okay, we'll just put these thighs into the pan. You could probably use a smaller pan. Use what you have. There's no sense for a recipe like this using more than you're going to need. So this will be dinner for my husband and I today, because he is home briefly today before he hits the road again. And then I will make a couple of lunches for him to take on the road with him. He has a little oven in his truck, and he can take them and reheat them in his big truck. So they're in the pan. Because of the onion soup mix, I won't be adding any salt to this because I think there's enough salt in here. If you like more salt, I guess you could add more. What I will do though is, once I have all the ingredients in here to mix them up, the sauce ingredients, then I will taste it to make sure that, to see if it needs more salt or not. But probably not. I'm just using a big bowl. It's actually my measuring cup. Just going to move things around here a little bit so that we can get right at it. What am I forgetting? Nothing. Okay, in goes the onion soup mix. I'll get rid of that. And open up this can of cranberry sauce. It's funny, not all the stores carry cranberry sauce when it isn't close to turkey time. I found that out when I was looking for this in our store. This has got quite a bit of liquid on the top, so I'm just going to drain it into there. Then I'm just using a knife to cut through the sauce so that it's not one big lump. Is that a word? It's not one big lump when we put it into the container here. It breaks it up a little bit. There we go. Got rid of that and that. And yes, it's a time cleaning out that sink after I'm done with the video, because I tend to put everything in there. Now, just get this opened up. French dressing is something that most people enjoy, but it's not been around really a lot for a long time. So if you've not been familiar with it from the past, you may want to look for it on your grocery store shelf. It's definitely got a different flavor. Okay, we just need 1 cup. And just going to get that in there. And give this a mix. And once again, I'm going to get rid of that. Let's put this lid on so we don't have any catastrophes. I'm going to mix this up and mix it quite thoroughly. Just pressing the cranberry sauce against the side. I've used whole cranberry sauce. I just like the texture of it on this chicken, but I'm sure you could just use cranberry jelly if you're somebody that doesn't enjoy the cranberries. Something else you could do to this, just maybe to enhance it a little more, is once you've got it on the chicken, is you could add some dried cranberries to the top. It just kind of adds to the delight of the whole entire dish. Now, let's wipe that up. I'm going to pull this over, and we're just going to simply pour this on. I want to get some on each piece of chicken. And I'm going to spread it around. I know that this can't be looking too hard at this point. And there we go. Now just spread it around on top of the chicken. Make sure that it's covered nicely. Now you should be able to see that I have lots of sauce in here, which is good because you can scoop some of the sauce out of the pan, because the chicken makes its own juice in the pan and it will mingle with the sauce that we've just put on, and then we can use that sauce on our rice. Now you could also, probably use egg noodles or even potatoes. We just like this dish with rice, so it's one of our rice dishes. Takes no time at all. You could see how much time that took. In fact, if I was just making this dish, I wouldn't have enough minutes to make a YouTube video. If you're making YouTube videos and they are under 10 minutes, you can't monetize it. So yeah, this dish could be put together literally in 2 minutes and then into the oven for its cooking time. So here we go. This is what it looks like. I am going to put it into a 350-degree oven, and I'm going to cook it for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Because it's a thigh, I'm not going to, I think that 1 hour and 15 minutes is good. If you're uncertain about the time, get your meat thermometer out. It should read 165 to 170 on your meat thermometer. That way you could be sure that it's cooked all the way through. But I personally think, based on the size of the thighs that I put in there, that 1 hour and 15 minutes will do the trick. So I will be back closer to the time that it's cooked, and I will show you my shortcut for cooking rice, because it's another lazy dish I do, and we'll get the broccoli ready. So I will see you in a short time. I made sure that I set a timer so that I could keep track of how things were going along with the chicken in the oven. It smells delicious in here. So I have 24 minutes left on my 1 hour and 15 minute timer. Time to get the rice going. So let's get her started. I am going to only need 1 cup of rice, because that'll make enough for my husband and I with leftovers for his lunch. So I am using jasmine rice, and I have it in a big container. I always rinse my rice because I don't want the grains to clump together with the starch. So I try to wash as much of the starch off as I can. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Move that out of the way. I need a teaspoon of salt, which I'm going, well, not a full teaspoon. Let's go about a half. And I need 2. Now I'm microwaving this rice, which I find to be the, well, it's not just the easiest way, but I get the most consistent result. So it is easy. That helps. So I'm going to need 2.5 cups of water. And I just dump it right in the bowl. I guess this isn't a bowl. It's more like a casserole. And the rice will about half fill it when it's cooked up. But one of the things that I've found when I'm cooking rice in the microwave is that the flatter it is, the better result I get. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. And that out of the way. And now I'm going to cover the whole thing with some plastic wrap. I think this is probably the easiest way. We want to steam this rice, so this helps to keep all of the steam inside the dish. And now I'm going to put this into my microwave oven, and I'm going to set it for 18 minutes. And as soon as the 18 minutes is up, it's ready. So it's a fast and easy way to cook your rice, and you don't have to look over it. So I'll put this in the microwave, and then we will get busy and clean up the broccoli and get it into the pot and ready to boil in about 10 minutes time. Now, I've just got a couple little crowns because one of the things that doesn't reheat all that well in my husband's little oven is broccoli. It gets kind of mushy, and neither one of us really care for mushy broccoli. So we're just having enough for our meal tonight. And I am just taking the hard parts off the stalk. And I'm going to cut it up. Let's see. And we like the stalk. So I just literally cut away the hard part leading up to the floret. And it doesn't take long to do this. I hope you folks are all well where you are. Is fall on the way? It certainly feels like it is here. The trees are just starting to change color. We haven't had a hard frost yet. Well, we haven't had a frost yet, but it has been right on the verge a few nights of having frost. So we're not going to complain because some years we've already had snow by this time, and we don't want that. We've had snow on the mountains, but we haven't had any snow in the valley. So hopefully it continues to hold off for us, and usually we have snow right around Halloween that's going to stay on the ground. Sometimes it's a little later, but most of our kids for Halloween, the way we buy costumes for our kids for Halloween is we make sure that they're going to fit over a snowsuit, because that's what we can expect for that time of the year. It will be so cold that a regular winter jacket isn't going to be enough because they're going to be outside for an extended period of time. So you measure your costume over top of a snowsuit to make sure that it's going to be what your children can wear on Halloween. Hey, let me rinse this, get some water on it. I'm going to add a bit of salt to it. I'm going to set it on the stove, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to start it. And it won't be long, and this dinner will be all together. Well, everything's ready. I've just gotten this out of the oven, this cranberry chicken, and I've got the rice out of the microwave and the broccoli off the stove top. And so I'm just going to dish this up. You want to be really careful when you take this out of the microwave because the plastic gets sucked right down and the steam is very hot. So try and think about poking it and then being really careful how you remove the plastic. Now, the rice just comes out beautiful and fluffy. And if you've never tried this, cooking rice this way before, I'm going to suggest you do. Give it a try anyway. I'm going to add some of this broccoli, which is just fork tender. Add that to the plate. And then I am going to add the chicken thigh. Now, this by itself looks just fantastic, but I am going to add a bit of the sauce over top of my rice. And there's lots of sauce. I hope you can see there's lots of sauce in the pan. So you can definitely afford to do this with your rice. And there we go. I should tidy this up a little bit probably. And here is a 3-ingredient chicken dinner that I think once you've tried it, you're going to add it to your rotation of recipes and that you would make it again and again. It's beautiful and delicious. Boy, there's so much more I want to say about it. But anyway, I hope that you give it a try. I think you'll be impressed. I am looking forward to this dinner, and so is my husband, and we are going to say goodbye for today and get busy and have our dinner. So take care, everybody. I hope that you have a wonderful week till I see you next time. And until then, bye-bye.